Today, we learn to edge fabric with fire. There will be two portions to this video. If you wish to make a hair flower, you're going to cut your poly fabric, chiffon, or satin into petal shapes, approximately 2 inches by 3 inches wide. At the end, you will have a wonderful hair flower with a clip on the end. If you just want to learn edging with me, then all you'll need is a poly fabric with a straight edge. It can be satin, it can be chiffon, anything that's made of plastic. For the first part of this video, I'm going to teach you how to edge a piece of fabric with fire. Watch me do it first. Is this safe? Hell no. You might burn yourself. I'm not really sure. But with a little bit of practice, you'll be able to edge a melted strip onto your fabric. I would advise practicing a few times, but this is a great technique for a few reasons. One, maybe you don't have a sewing machine that can do a perfect edge on a fabric as light as chiffon. And also, maybe you want to have something that has an intricate shape like a flower petal. A shape like this is not going to be easy to run on a sewing machine, even on a serger. So it's great to do it with fire because it will keep it from fraying and it will make a nice edge. And the more you do it, the faster you get at it. If you have a long skirt and you need it to look sort of flowy and ghost-like, you know, Halloween's coming up, maybe an edge like this would be exactly what you need. It will save you time and energy and effort. I'm going to run this through the T-Rex candle holder again to show you. Keep in mind that depending whether you're right-handed or left-handed will tell you how you want to go over the flame. Don't actually touch the candle flame because then you will melt a hole. Just hold it nice and taut, slightly above the candle flame, and advance every inch or so to change. Now, some people might want to go a different direction. I've experimented before and been able to start from here and then just kind of like pull it through my hands and get an edge. You can try that technique, but you really need to practice and be aware that this fabric melts, and it melts quickly, but it takes a few seconds before it really catches on fire. So I would practice those small pieces before you do something else. So now I'm going to show you how to do a petal or round shape. You start at the edge, the bottom of the petal, and you just kind of go around. I like to do it a couple different ways, holding it a few inches above. Let's see if we can get a better camera angle for you, but see how it just curls right up really easily? And it almost looks like an irregular flower petal. See how close that I hold that? Not close at all. And I watch it kind of curl up. Satin will really curl up and give you a much nicer edge. You can also trim your wick if you feel like your flame is too high. But look at that. It's like a little flower petal. Set that aside. We're going to do something else. Normally I would do this with 2 hands, but let me tell you, on camera it's nearly impossible. So like I said, this will be a tough thing to practice, but once you get it, it will be fabulous. And what you want to do is definitely cut more petal shapes than you need in all different sizes, because you will inevitably set one on fire. And sometimes you'll think that you didn't get the edge, like it will just seem like, how could you have possibly gotten it? But I promise you that just a tiny little bit of heat will in fact bond these fibers together. And this is because of the plastic content in your fabric. Most everything that we wear has plastic in it, unless it's a sustainable fiber. So anything that says polyester has plastic in it. And you have to be careful because it's quite flammable as a fabric and it will melt. So for example, my flame is getting a little high, so I'm gonna lift it up a little bit further away. Now if you want to get something to curl in on itself, you just hold it in and you'll have like a little curl. That one didn't look very great, but you can play around. Satin is a wonderful, wonderful fabric for this. See, look at that. I made a shape. It curls up on itself. That's fabulous. So that mimics that mimics the shape of nature. You know, because not all petals are just, see here, this is how I do it with 2 hands. It's a lot easier. I don't know what I was thinking. So there you go. All right, here are the petals that I made. I've got 3 of this fancy organza. That's gonna be my center. And a bunch here for the body of the flower. So let's see how to do it. Okay, so first thing I'm gonna do is collect them like you would some playing cards. I'm gonna take 3 and kind of fan them out. And then I'm going to take my needle and my thread. Oh, I forgot to tell you, you needed a needle and thread in the beginning. But that's what I'm going to do. And then I'm going to go like this until I've collected them all. That's pretty easy, right? If you've ever sewn anything, you can also practice this part a bunch. And then I'm going to add another. Get them on the needle. Add another one. Add another one. Keep going. When I get enough on there, I'm going to pull it through. Okay, it looks like a giant bunch of stuff. Okay, look at this giant bunch of stuff that I've got on the needle now. Hooray. So I'm going to make a knot. I'm going to do a video too about how to make knots while sewing. All right, cut my thread. Look at my cool rainbow scissors. Aren't those awesome? They're so awesome. All right, then I'm going to take my 3 organza pieces and I'm going to do the same. This will be the center of my flower. Fan it out the way that I did before. Get that needle through all of them. Pull it tight and make a knot. Okay, now you want to take that messed up looking jellyfish of a flower and you want to kind of fan it out and pick how you want it to lay down and see where you want the center to go. So I kind of want mine to look like this. And I'm going to put my needle up through the center. I'm going to tack it down. This is the annoying part because the thread will always grab the petal. So everyone's in the same boat with that. Oh, how pretty. Excellent. Now flip it over and you want to pinch your flower in the center. This will keep it from having as much volume as you thought, so adjust accordingly, but it makes it look really natural. Pinch it in the center and go through a bunch. Make it nice and tight, and then tie it off and cut it. Ta-da! My flower looks great. So now I get to decide what I want to put in the center. You can put rhinestones. You can put these stamens, these ones, if you want to go in the center. I've done those before. So decide on that. You can just glue them down. You can glue rhinestones in. It's up to you. But on the back, you can put like a circle of felt if you want a little more visual appealing back. Or if you, I mean, I have to put them on the back for sale so that they look nice, but also depending on how large your hardware is. You can do a clip like this, alligator clip, right there. You can also do a comb, like that. You just glue the top edges of the comb. That's also an option. Okay, so that's hair flower making. Slippery little sucker. Look at that. I'm going to show you some centers on some of the ones that I've done. I did rhinestones with stamens, and I like it because you can kind of bend them. They have a little light wire in there. Make them look fun. And I also have done little scraps of sequin fabric in centers of flowers. Here on the back I did an alligator clip. Here's an example of felt backing, which makes it slide into the hair a little bit easier. And you can add pearls if you want. That's kind of really nice. All of these were finished with fire. So that's a fun new craft for you to do. And I really hope that if you make one, you will send me a picture or a video of yours. So now we're going to talk about another fun thing you can do with fire. Okay, I'm including this idea for what to do with fire and fabric because it's something that I learned on the set of some films that I worked on, and it's really great for Halloween. It's specifically for Halloween, and since it's almost Halloween, I thought this might give you some costume ideas. So I did it on black and on yellow. So on yellow, you can see this is how you create like a distressed burn pattern. And because it melts, you can make it look really crazy. But I did it on black to show you how the application of it on black is wonderful for witch costumes and decor around your house. And I want to show you how I do it. You'll need to experiment with your own flame to see the best height and path of the fabric across the flame. So it seems a little silly, but it's actually intentional. And you can use fabric with a color and create a soot mark as well. So I'll take my trusty T-Rex candle here and I'll show you. If you get a flame, you can just blow it out. See, just touch it very lightly. You get this kind of burn thing. You can also get like a pattern going. This is kind of fun if you want to make something really distressed. Yeah. If you get any flame, you just blow it out. Careful not to smother the flame. So this is kind of a really fun technique if you want something that looks distressed or, you know, zombie-like, or like a witchy kind of fabric, or, you know, for the edges of the ghosts that you hang from your porch or whatever. This is an extra thing you can do. Remember to always burn test your fabric before you commit to a craft like this. And by doing that, you can just take an edge and you can just dip it in the flame and see what happens. See if the edges melt. If the edge does not melt, then you have a fabric that is a natural base, and this technique will not work at all. You can't do this on silk or linen or cotton. You can only do it on a fabric with a high plastic content. So this is also a way to know what content your fabric has. So if you do it with a fabric that you don't know anything about, you'll find out real quick if it's a natural fabric or if it's a fake fabric, if it's plastic based. So sometimes if you're choosing fabrics to work with, you can get a little swatch and you can burn test them and you'll find out real quick. So oftentimes I found fabrics that people have said are 100% silk or linen or cotton, and it turns out they're not when I burn test them. So that's a fun way to do it. So I've taught you how to edge chiffon or a polyester fabric using flame, how to edge petals to make a hair flower or flowers for decoration, or even just petals to string up or throw up in the air. I mean, really, there's a lot of ideas for your crafts there, and also how to enhance some of your Halloween decorations with this wonderful hole effect. Scary. All right, thank you so much for subscribing to my Patreon, and this was the very first Shut Your Craft Hole video, and I will see you all next month. Bye.